Welcome to day 8 and the beginning of our second week. So last week we were really concentrating on showing up for ourselves on the mat every day. It was quite gentle. This week we're going to continue that, but we're also going to start moving a little bit more, making it a little bit more dynamic. However, in saying that, we all have to have a starting place. So today, for day 8, our intention is acknowledging our starting place. And for you and for me, it will be completely different. For your neighbour, your friend, the lady down the road, your children, all of our starting places are different and they are right for us. So don't worry about where you're starting. It's not a competition. This, remember, is your journey. It's discovering you, it's discovering what your body can do. So today we're going to start standing. So if you'd like to come to your mat and just stand for me. And just gently close your eyes. And just notice how you're standing. So did you stand with your legs together? Did you stand maybe with your legs a little bit wider, maybe at shoulder width? Doesn't matter. But just notice how you hold yourself when you're asked to stand. And then very slowly, we're going to start to lengthen our breath. So just connecting with the breath, becoming one with your mat, finding that stillness. Making the inhales and the exhales a little bit longer. It's quite interesting to notice that even though we're standing in stillness, there's actually still quite a lot of movement going on. Our brain's still working, our blood's still flowing, our lungs are breathing in and out, our heart's pumping. And now just very gently rock backwards and forwards for me, keeping your eyes closed if you can, you're comfortable. Not big movements, but just enough so that you can notice your feet connecting with the ground. And then just come back to standing. Now you're a little bit more aware of how you stand. I'm going to open up our eyes and have a bit of a move. So just shake out your legs, shake out your arms, move yourself around. And now we're going to really stand in Tadasana or mountain. So I want you to look at your feet, which we don't normally do, but look at your feet and really place that right foot on the mat, contacting the heel, the ball of your foot, all of the toes, and now do the same with the left foot. Really plant it, little space in between, making sure that heel's touching, the ball of the big toe, all the toes, one at a time if you can. Really spread out like you would your hands if you were leaning on your hands, because your feet are supporting your body. And then just gently close the eyes or let them go soft if it's more comfortable. And just notice, is there a difference now with how you're standing to how when we just came to the mat and stood? Really press through those toes, through the heels. You'll quite often be led by yoga teachers that say use all 4 corners of your feet. Now obviously our feet don't have 4 corners, but you can kind of imagine them as a square when you're really pressing through, because you've got 2 sides of your heels and you've got both sides of the toes. So that's what they mean when they say that. So you're really pushing through the whole foot. And now we're going to work our way up our bodies for the whole movement, because the feet being planted on the ground is only the beginning. So keeping those feet firmly attached to the ground, pushing through, engaged and awake. Let's bring our focus to our calves. And if we haven't done already, let's switch on the calves, so engage them so you can feel them. which will in turn engage your knees. You'll feel your knees lift slightly. And then we can engage the thighs, which kind of makes your bum cheeks clench a bit. So let's just notice how we're feeling. So we'll go back to the toes. The toes are pushing into the ground. The heels and the whole foot are planted firmly. Your calves are engaged. Your knees are lifted. Your thighs are engaged. Your glutamus maximus on your bottom are engaged. And as we come up a bit further, we can engage our core by pulling that belly button back towards the spine. The bottom rib should kind of be coming towards your pelvis, so not leaning backwards, but just coming forwards ever so slightly. That gives you a really good alignment while your core is tight. Let's just stand there for a minute and see how that feels. You might feel a little bit uncomfortable because it's the first time you've done this, and at the moment half of your body is kind of tense and active, but not all of it. So let's just go back and double check. So we've got our feet, the calves are engaged, the knees are lifted, thighs are engaged, our glutamus maximus are turned and switched on, our core is tight, our ribs and our pelvis are sort of heading towards each other to get our good posture. Our chest lifts to the sky, our shoulders are back and down so they're relaxed, our head is neutral, our jaw is relaxed. Maybe open your mouth a slightly tiny bit to allow the jaw to relax, and our palms are facing forwards. This is Tadasana. This is mountain. Let's breathe deeply, feeling the power of this asana. This is our starting place. This can be a resting place and a finishing place. Now slowly flutter the eyes open, keeping everything engaged that we've just done. We're going to bend the knees slightly, breathe in and lift the arms up over our head for a full body stretch. Stretch those fingers as high as you can, look at the sky, bring the hands together, coming down through heart center, and then keep going. Bend the knees completely so that your chest can touch your knees, and then if it feels comfortable, start to straighten your legs into a forward fold, keeping the legs bent if it's more comfortable, using blocks under your hands to bring the earth up if you need to. And then as we breathe in, we're going to just bring our hands up our calves, flatten our back and look up slightly to a halfway lift, and then folding back down to the ground, looking at the knees, remembering to keep those knees bent if it's comfortable. And then as we breathe in, come back up to halfway lift, flat back, look up. Taking a deep breath in, a long breath out, all the way back down to the ground, into your forward fold. And then this time we're going to push through our feet as we breathe in, and we're going to come all the way up to mountain, but really slowly. So breathing in, pushing through the feet, slowly and gently, as we're engaging everything that we spoke about, the calves, the knees, the thighs, the glutamus maximus, the core, bringing the shoulders back, and finally bringing the head into neutral, coming back into mountain. Closing the eyes, acknowledging our starting place this beginning week. Bringing your hands to your heart center, fluttering the eyes open. I thank you for joining me on day 8. We're going to have a really fun week this week, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.